Hi folks, Rebo here, following up on last video of distance and aiming in big wins. Done the St Andrews, now really asking for trouble at the back nine of Chambers Bay in 100 ready, where obviously you'd like to score, but it's not a big deal, it's only 100 credits. So we'll be talking through how to play some of these shots, and some of them I'm sure will go quite wrong. I'm going to be trying to play with the spin again, trying to reduce spin when required, and see how we get on. I mean, we're starting in about as hard as a possible wind we could have. Tailwind here, it's just an easy birdie. But it is what it is, and it will help us sort of think about what we're trying to do. So I'm just going to blast this down. I could put some topspin on, but it's not going to gain as much. I do have a thunderstorm going on here, so there's a chance we might get some lag with connection. So instead of having like 100 yards in or 80, we've now got 187 into 30 wind. So we're going to plot in the numbers for just to give ourselves an idea to start with. 187, 18, 26. And the first thing I'm going to do here is try and work out how much wind value I'm going to allow. Because the main factor is that we're going uphill. So it should be less blowy than it's suggesting. So we've got a sort of 80%. By the time we've aimed over here, we're sort of looking at 95. Now, I'd usually take a bit off for the uphill, but I just think it's so strong that we're going to lose momentum. So I'm probably going to play it. I'm going to play it as 100 wind and see where that takes us. I don't think we can get an iron here. .220. So 220. So 70% backspin gets us our number on a 3-iron. Now we're uphill with reduced spin. I mean, in theory, this should go long. But it's just so strong. I'm just going to take, I'm not going to take any spin off it, but I might just take just a dab of power. So here we're aiming into the wind. I'm just straightening that line up to give us a good angle for this wind here. The problem is what happens is it's going to stall, and then the wind's going to grab it even more to go this way as well. And we also have the cushion of here. If it's coming in at this angle, it will still roll a bit in here if we get a bit of luck. It might be quite spinny by then, so. But I'm going to sort of go for about there as aim, just so I give ourselves the best chance, even just a little bit more. So with 70% spin, I'm just going to take a little fudge off it. It might be a mistake, but. Got the heartbeat. Sit, I think. So we were right to take a little bit off, just didn't quite take enough off because we were scared of that wind. We got the nice little kick in from the side. So it was a nice shot, but this isn't going to be much fun. 7 point. 7.3, 3.1. So we've got a 3.3 putt, massively tailwind and massively downhill. We're only on we're on 11s actually, not 12s. Didn't notice that. It makes things a bit easier. So a 3.8 foot putt. The problem here is there's so little dot movement that it sort of tells you that you think it's going to be straight. and then any leak one side or the other is going to send it away from the hole. I mean, this looks from memory more like it should be left to right. This angle here is better, but it's sort of suggesting we're going this way, and we're not straight behind the hole. So I'm gonna, you see we've got a little bit of left to right dot movement here, just a little bit there as well, so it is sort of telling us that there's some left to right there. So I'm going to play it as left to right. I feel like it might not be enough, but I'd be really annoyed if I miss it this side, having seen these dots. I'm going to go there. It's a scary putt. I could just bash it, but yeah. Yeah, good read in the end, a read of experience rather than of dots, because there wasn't much to show us on the good angle that was going to break left to right. So nice start in those conditions. Oh dear. I know what's going to happen. It means we're going to get tailwind on the short par 4, which makes it impossible. So I don't think we can reach this green with our 287 driver and 242 wood. So we're just going to be trying to escape with a par here. The mistake we can't make is going over here. Okay, so we got 240 in. I mean, we can't even get there without the wind, let alone with the wind. I mean, this is brutal. So there's nothing we can do here. All we can do is just make sure we don't make a mistake. Just put ourselves in position to try and get up and down. So we'll take that. Probably going to play a pitch here with 60 degree. The worry is it's into the wind, and I can only get 21 out of this. It's into the wind and it's uphill, so it's playing 21 there and some more there, and there'll be little rollout. So I'm going to have to take off a bit of backspin. So we've got right to left wind and right to left green, so we need to definitely make some allowance for that. Even more, you know. So we've got our 3 spin off there, and now we just pray. I can't wait to see the 30 tailwind. I mean, the good news is it's not 30, but I'm not sure it helps as much. In fact, 30 might have been better because we might have been able to get a 3 wood there. But so I'm going to try and play to here, but it's just a tough shot. 267.42. Wind, 50%. I'm sort of tempted to put it up here because we've got a little bit of a trick shot. Not that I can be that accurate from here. So it's telling us to hit sort of 270 to get there. I know it's going to be a little bit more than that. The wind's going to have less effect because it's so uphill as well. So I'm thinking is 280 too much? I'm trying to sort of get a bounce here and then sort of roll it to there and get down, but I mean it's just a really finicky shot. Finicky even. .280 is 90%. It's also going to go quite low, so it'll have less wind on it as well. So I'm going to hit that. I think we're going to go long, but wow. We'll take that. Beautiful bounce. 11 green, so that could come nice and close because it won't roll that far. Come back. Why are you going over there now? It's downhill. Well, I shouldn't be arguing about that result. So very pleased with that. 9.4, 2.2. Not the easiest of putts. I actually know this putt quite well, but I know it on 10 greens. I know that the aim is about here, basically, because you get to finish in this position quite a lot, rolling off this slope. I'm going to count the dots for the sake of it. I mean, they're not very helpful because there's just no dot movement here at all. I'm going to go 10 just to see what it looks like. 42% of box. I mean, that's pretty much where I said previously. Got a crushing headwind here. 9.6, 2.1. 9.2, 2.1. Okay, aimed a bit far. It's 9.2, 2.1. Just going to ease it in a little bit. Hitting it 6. It's going to hit a little bit harder than 6 because of the headwind. I do not want to be short. I feel like this is too much break, but no, we got it. It's a good start. Now we've got, it looks like a good wind, but it's not going to be much fun going into the green with a 30 tailwind. Need as little club as possible. So this is going to be fun. We've got to sort of try and land it here and hope we get a hop up. It's the only chance we've got of stopping this. 180, so I'm going to sort of play it to there and see. 174 and 7. I don't mind if it comes up short because it's the only way to get it close. I'd rather give it a chance of being right than just hitting it here and sort of a 95% wind, I think, at 28. The other problem we've got here is it'd be a lot easier if this wind was going this way, so we could cushion it in, but it's everything slopes that way and the wind's going that way as well. So it's just got par written all over it. In fact, we're as much likely to make bogey here as we are birdie, to be honest with you. So it's telling us to hit 156, which is a 7-iron full backspin. I mean, I like that because the harder we hit it, the more power we have on it, the more spin we have. And it's a yard shorter of where we said with this howling tailwind. I'm just going to go with that. I mean, I feel like there's not much more we can do, really. We just have to pray, basically. I can't aim any further left because the more we land left, the more it kicks right. We're just going to hit this. I'm going to leave the pin in because it might help. Wow. So we've done pretty much exactly what we wanted to do there, which was land it on the upslope and cushion it. If we land here, we just jump straight over there. Shame it's not close to 8.2 feet, but we'll take that all day. 8.2, 0.3. Oops. .5 putt. I'm not going to dot count here. It's a good angle. So I'm going to hit this. I would normally hit it 9, but I'm worried about this tailwind. My gut says just go just outside right. We're going to get a wind push a little bit that way as well. But there is some break in here. Not an awful lot. Just going to hit it just under 9. Sneaked it in. Oh, come on. The good news is the wind isn't massive. So here we have no choice but to go down the right-hand side and leave ourselves a long 3-wood in. We've got to be careful those here, we don't get too greedy. 60 downhill, 20, so we get 305, 285. I mean, that's really close if we aim there. So I always think here, the good news is the second shot is going to be going obviously left with the wind, so we're going to have less headwind and it's downhill. So I still think we can make it even if we play sort of a bit safe here. So I am going to play pretty safe because the last thing we want to do is go in the bunker. I hope that's not leaving us too far to get in. 236, no, we should be okay. Just about. 236 minus 25. And we've got a 19, we've got 20 wind. So there we're looking at about 25%, but I'm going to put it up to about 40% because we're aiming over here. So we've pretty much got an all-out 3-wood here, full backspin. The only worry is if the full backspin stalls in the wind slightly. So we've got a good wind angle here, so yeah, I think I want to give it a chance, and my gut is just to take a little bit of backspin off it. What's 2 goes? Yeah, that's 244. I think that's too much. All right, we're just going to go 1 backspin. I mean, if it comes up short on the green, the good news is that it's an uphill putt. whereas long is a downhill putt. Now I'm just plotting the wind for this sort of 60%, 70%. Alright. Ooh, did not want to do that. Last minute I was thinking, don't miss too far right. Well, we'll take that, particularly as it's uphill as well. So yeah, very, very happy with that with a miss. I was aiming a lot right because I wanted to try and bring it down the slope. So we got lucky there. But what we did get right was the distance, even though we dinged it with the wind. 10.2, 0.3. I'm not quite sure how this is downhill, but 10.2, 0.3. So we've got an 8.4 putt. Don't think we'll be using dots here again. I think this is going to be a hit it firm job. Got wind off this side with the break and into the wind, so it's quite a good one to hit firm. So I'm looking at here at hitting this 10.5, so that's quite tasty pace. I'm going this totally by feel. Oh, just a bit too much power. I thought halfway there it was going to turn in, but it just didn't. Anyway, never mind. Didn't really deserve a birdie there. Disappointing. Still. Right, so here's a good opportunity to spin fiddle. 232, I'm going to allow minus 60 feet. And we've got 21 wind. Have we got 21 wind? Or is that complete high? 19 wind, I'm talking about. So I'm just going to put in the initial look of the wind to start with and then work it out from there. So I'm going to allow 100 wind there because we're so far downhill. I might even add some more on in a minute. It's about 80 wind, but I'm going to go 100. So we've got a 240 shot. So this is very similar to the St Andrews shot of yesterday, because we've actually got a 3-iron no spin, which will cover that distance. So our thought process here now is, if we go the 3-iron no spin, will that, I've allowed 100% wind when it's 80%, but we're 60 downhill, so there's going to be a lot of wind there. The question is whether the no spin 3-iron, I think it is a no spin 3-iron. I've also got some memory of a conversation I had with a couple of mates about this as well. I tried to hit last time on this hole. I was trying to hit a 4-backspin 3-wood, full power, and it was landing here. That was in 30 wind. Yeah, so actually this is 20 wind, not 30. So we don't want to rifle it through the wind and end up long. I'm just going to put a flick of backspin on it. Right, so we're committed to that. Now we've got to work on the line. So we're obviously pointing quite far right here. I don't really want to miss right here, so I think what I'm going to do is sort of take the middle ground, and if it misses left, it might roll down the hill. So we're going with this. No idea what's going to happen, but you've heard my thought process. No ding, no heartbeat. Doesn't look too bad. 13 greens, that would have come back. So 20% backspin was the right call. I put 10 on, but you know, 17 feet from there. Would I take it every time? Not far off. 17.2, 4.5. Foot putt. So we can't dot count here because we've got a double, what looks like a double breaker. I don't think this is far off straight. My worry is because we're hitting it quite gently at 10 feet, it might move quite a bit here with the wind and then not have a chance to come back. But the end always breaks quicker than the first bit. I don't like these double breakers, I'm not particularly good at them. I feel like that misses left. I'm going to go there. It says 10 feet. It's tailwind. See no reason to do anything but hit it 10 feet. Could use this going in. Come on, come on, come on. Lovely. So we got there in the end with the read. We got 28 side wind. This is going to be a brutal approach. I'm going to be aiming over by the train somewhere. Trying to work out if I want any spin on this. Just in case we get caught in a headwind. We've got into 102-yard range, but we're into headwind now. We're going to be aiming so far into the headwind. Wherever I put this, I will miss the putt. I'm very, very bad on this green. So we've got 102 plus 2 down. End of 28. So if we're looking at here, we've got about 20% wind, but we're going to be aiming here. So I'm sort of tempted to do 45% wind and see what it says. 109. So the good news here is, and it might not work out, is I don't really want to hit a spinny pitching wedge. So what we can do here is hit the 56, which goes 102 yards, but it goes about 108, 109 with full top on, and what that gives us a little bit more control if we've got the wind read right. I mean, these are the ones I really struggle with for aiming, because I force myself to aim over here, and then I'm thinking, oh, I do not want to miss in this bunker if I get it horribly wrong. You always want to give yourself a putt, but I feel like we have to go for this. We're on a good score, and could use a birdie here. So I mean, we know it's going to move a load more than that. The question is, how brave can I be? I'm going to go there. I'll probably try and hold it with a slight ding right. Slight ding left even. So it's not terrible. If we ding that right, I think we'd be sort of here-ish. But we've left ourselves a horrible putt. So not great, 11 feet from there really. Didn't like that shot at all. So scared of putting it in the bunker for no reason, really, because there's no way it's going to finish over there with that wind. 11.1, 3.5 is 6.3. So we've got sort of multiple dot speeds here. So I'm going to go with the middle one because we've got the wind holding it as well. So Mississippi 1, Mississippi 2. So we've got 3s, 4s, 5 and a 6. And this is just going to break hard in here. I'm actually going to go 3.5 and see what it looks like. So 3.5 times 2 is 7. Gives us a 153 break. .8 downhill there. 3.5 downhill there. It is going to come down here. I mean, that's too much, I feel, because it's not going to move much in the first bit with that wind. So we're going to be here, and then we're asking a lot of it to turn in there. So I'm going to go more there and give that a shot. I don't think there's any point in overthinking this too much because it's just a really tough putt. Now the question is power. Do I want to stick with the 6.3? Just going to add a little bit on. Oh, you have to be kidding me. Ah, looks in from 2 feet out all day. Oh, I hate those ones that crawl under the hole. Really good putt. It is what it is. So here we got, it's actually quite a nice wind, other than the fact that the wind is coming this way, which can easily lead. The greens are only 11. In the USV Open yesterday, I landed a 3-wood here on 14 greens, like stiff as a post, 4 feet, 5 feet, really needed the birdie. And it spun with a 3-wood at 50% spin. It spun all the way into this bunker and I made bogey. To say I wasn't happy is a rather big understatement. So I've got to be careful not to be too scared about this because this is 11 greens and we do need the birdie, so we've got to take this on. So 223 minus 4, 28. So our wind angle there is about 60%, I think. Maybe 65. Looks a lot more there, doesn't it? We're going to get a bounce as well forward. Even we want a full backspin shot here, really. But even then, it's gonna bounce forward with this wind. So playing for less wind is probably the best idea. Sorry, over allowing the wind. And then if it comes up short, it might roll up. So I'm sort of a bit confused by these two wind angles now. I'm going to go 70%. I might even go 75 actually. So we're looking at a 200-yard shot, which is going to be a 4-iron 98%. And I do want full backspin here, so that's why I'm not looking at a lower spin variation. Now obviously with this wind angle, the next problem is how much do we allow for this side wind. Now we know if we aim here, we've got no chance. I feel like if we aim there, halfway in its flight, it's going to be already at the pin. I mean, I'd rather miss this here and give ourselves some kind of putt, even if it rolls down this hill. So we're not even threatening this hill with that 28 wind, so we know we're not enough yet. So this is kind of how I start to feel it. Now we look like we're pointing a load, but it's 28 wind. We look like we're pointing a load left, and I still feel it's like not enough. Probably is now. Now the problem here is I obviously can't afford to miss ding right, so I need to be dinging or onto the left. So I'm just going to pull it in a little bit for that reason. And now we pray. Yeah, we just overcooked it with the ding. Didn't miss by much. You know, we landed like here. If we land here, we're in a good spot. So, tough shot, disappointing, is what it is. Yeah, round going to pieces. 29.6, 7.1. $29.4. I'm going to dot count these and then reduce it. Average is about 4 there. And for the rest of this, I just need to take some off. So we're going 4.8, so we've got 206 it's saying. Somewhere about there. But we know it's going to break early, but it's not going to come back enough up here with that because we've allowed for 4 dots in here. Wind's off that side. $29.4, 7.1. Very pleased with that. I can't remember where I dinged it, but it wasn't a pure ding. Yeah, but very happy. And then not very happy with this. I swear I've never eagled this hole, and all my mates just eagle it all the time. So our job here is just two bash shots and try and put a wedge close. 285. Can we get into 60 range? Last thing we want to do is put it in the bunker here, but the more distance we get on it, the better. It's not the easiest of layups, this shot. I hope that's not too long in the bunker. I don't think it can be. But so we've sort of left ourselves in between here. We'll see what it says. 62, 15 uphill. I'm going to allow 12 from this distance. It doesn't play as far as you'd think. So 62, 12, 22. Got about a 90% wind there. I'm going to allow 85 because it's uphill. 22 wind. Yes, it is. So we got 72 shot here. So this for me is a standard. If we forget the wind for a minute, would be a standard 2 topspin, 75, hitting it about 71 yards, not 72, to allow the topspin to take its effect. But I feel like 2 topspin on this wind going uphill is still going to backspin a lot. So this becomes a pretty fiddly shot. This is where I need to learn punches, but I'm not going to do it now. Everyone will be looking at this going, it's an easy punch, just hit it. And I need to practice them more. So this is definitely a weakness in my game. So I need to fathom it out on this one occasion. So if I hit 72 now, it's going to go past the pin, but I'm pretty sure it's going to spin like a MF. So I'm going to go 4 topspin. It still might not be enough to hold it, but I don't think we have a choice. We can't go full top because then the numbers get all funny. Okay. 72. So normal situation, 72 would be here. I'm going to have a little bit less because I've got topspin on it. What we've got to be careful is we don't fly it past the pin and leave ourselves a nasty downhiller. Is that enough? Go on, gamble. That's good news from 75. That must mean it's close. Yeah, we'll take that. So there is one way, I mean a punch is an easier shot, but you have to remember that if you're learning all these shots and you want to remember them all, that a punch there, the wind is a different effect, the aim is a different effect, the bounce is a different effect. So sometimes you do have to play the shots that suit you. It's not all you need to punch. I accept it would be useful to have that arsenal in place. But there's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say. Resolving shot. I never like it on putts. So really pleased with that. -7 in howling winds. Back 9 chambers. Is really good. I would hope that has a chance of winning, if not top 3. But again, it gives us a really good chance to play with some spins, talk about aim, talk about taking distance off, talking about how to deal with massive headwinds. So I hope that's some kind of help, and if anybody has any questions, then just fire away.